from Laura Vitale, and we are back and we're going to share a cookie recipe with you. Now these are a traditional fried cookie that I've eaten my whole life, and I've actually had a lot of you asked for this recipe. They're called Chiacchiere, and like I said, it's a fried cookie. You eat them a lot, sometimes at state fairs, at carnivals and things like that, but we're going to show you how to make them at home. The ingredients you need are not very many, but these are kind of the traditional ones, but I'll show you some substitutions. Sugar, I've got some flour and a pinch of bicarb baking soda, salt, a whole egg plus an egg yolk, unsalted butter that's been softened at room temperature, a glass of wine, and some orange liqueur. If you don't want to use the orange liqueur or the wine, substitute equal amounts of orange juice. And that way you can keep it completely alcohol-free. It will still be delicious. Traditionally, to be honest with you, I know you use the wine when you're working the dough, but traditionally you actually do use orange juice in the dough, but she's made it with orange liqueur my whole life and her whole life, so that's just the only way I've known how to make them, but they're really, really easy. You're going to also need some frying oil. So, incominci. Spiegami.
Questa? Posso?
Sì. You know, she doesn't really use a mixer or anything. If you look behind her, she's got mixers, but she doesn't use them. She'd rather use her wood board and her hand. So she's going to make a well with just flour, sugar, baking soda, and the salt. Burro, la metà, perché ci vuole solo 50 grammi.
Basta.
I'll have the recipe written for her. Fai tu, fai, io spiego. Tu fai, io spiego. And she's working the butter in the flour, in the dry mixture. And basically what you'll kind of end up with is the mixture of really sort of, it'll be sticky, but not really that sticky, almost crumbly. And you just have to work it for a little bit. You have to be patient. And like I said, she does this by hand, but you can do it with your standing mixer with a paddle attachment. But really, traditionally, you do this by hand, just like she does. And she's now just going to walk away because that's just what she does. And now she's going to add the egg yolk and the whole egg. And she's just going to continue to bring the flour close to her and mix it in. And like I said, you can do the entire thing with your standing mixer with a paddle attachment. You don't want to use a whisk attachment for anything like this or a dough hook because it's just unnecessary. Allora, quando ci mettiamo liquore? Ci metto io?
Una goccia, vero,
And this is actually limoncello made out of oranges. So it's kind of like an orange cello. And you're going to just need a little bit of this. You want the essence of the citrus.
Una goccina.
See? But you don't want to go too heavy. So a couple tablespoons is enough. And like I said, use orange juice. If you're going to use orange juice, I would suggest a little orange zest as well, just to kind of give you that essence a little bit more.
Mette un po' di farina qua.
Okay. I'm going to put a little flour on the side because when you're working with dough like this, you want to make sure you add a little bit at a time if you need any extra, and also helps clean up your hands from the stickiness. Quando tempo le farla? Let it knead.
Non tanto.
Let it knead for another minute or so, she said, by hand. Not that long. Just add a little bit of wine as you need. A little as you go. She also makes a different cookie, which maybe we'll share with you next time. You want to use a little bit of flour. The recipe calls for a certain amount, but you're going to need to keep adding and adding and adding until it's no longer sticky. So that's kind of, you know, she does things by eye. She doesn't really measure. She's not really that precise. Even though people will tell you baking is a science, not her. She will do just things by look and feel, is what she says. Un po' di vino, no?
No.
No, pasta con vino. Sì. Enough for the wine. She smelled it. More flour. Okay, she's just going to roll this out. You want it to be pretty thin, but really should not be see-through. Otherwise, they'll be really, really hard, and you want them to have some texture to them. They will be quite crispy because they're going to be fried, but you don't want them to be really hard. So she's just going to, I would say, probably 1/8 of an inch. Between 1/8 and 1/4 of an inch thick is how you want them. And then she's got this little cute cutter. I think this traditionally is like a ravioli cutter because it's got like an edging on it. But you know, you can do this with just a knife if you don't have it. But one of these works well, and they're really inexpensive. You can find them online too. Okay. So you're just going to cut them into strips about, pretty thick, about 4 inches wide. 4 4 inches wide, right? Just like that. And you can cut them smaller if you want to, but traditionally they're about, like, I would say 4 by 2 inches. And it's got some oil boiling back here, but I don't think it's ready just quite yet. Let's check.
Really?
No,
No.
not yet. She's decided to cut all of them in half. That way they're easier for the little kids to grab onto and eat. And we're just gonna drop them in the oil and let them fry until golden. They really don't take very long. You want your oil to be at about 350 degrees or so. They don't take very long. They really do take about a couple of minutes. That's cute. Don't overcrowd your pan, otherwise the oil temperature will drop.
Laura.
Mettilo.
Laura. Fammi fare. Chiamata.
Aspetta, ce mi fa vedere che sono fatta.
Ah!
Clearly these are golden brown and crispy, and she's going to sift over some confectioner's sugar. I was gonna do it by hand, but as you just saw, I almost lost both of my arms because I wanted to do that. Bye. You should let them cool a little bit, but they shouldn't be cold. They should still be a bit warm because the powdered sugar sticks to them better. And this is powdered sugar she made. Don't ask. I don't know what that means. I'm assuming she just took sugar and put it in a food processor and let it go until it was about this consistency. And there it is. Io me la mangio una.
Vai. È così, no?
Sono buonissime.
No.
Assaggia!
Non posso mangiare. Non posso mangiare.
She's not gonna eat one now. She has to eat lunch first.
Sono belle morbide.
She just said she didn't want me to feed her.
Buonissimo.
Sono buonissime. They're easy and simple. She did say make them on the thinner side when you're rolling them out because they puff up while you fry them. I will have the recipe written for you.
Buonissime.
Sì, awesome.
Sono belle morbide.
Nice and soft on the inside. I have the recipe written for you. Thumbs up for more videos with Nonna. She's gonna walk away now because that's just what she does. She doesn't listen to me. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and we'll see you soon. Bye.